All right, so if you've been following my content for a while now, whether it is on YouTube or Instagram, you know that I like to try all sorts of different types of content. It is not easy to be a content creator. I think that, yes, for some people it comes very naturally. I think for me, the ones where I'm kind of like talking just from my heart and I'm just kind of like sharing my actual thoughts, that's easy. It's when you actually maybe, make a skit that can get harder, or like something funny or something that it's a little bit tongue in cheek. Having said that, I don't want to make this type of content that I'm about to do right now, but I also know that most of the content that I make, it is for the audience, but it's for me. It's my way to process. So this is going to be a very different type of content because I'm going to give you my immediate reactions to probably one of the worst Instagram reels or posts that I've seen in the hobby in the past 3 years since I've been back in the hobby. And I'm gonna do this unedited. I'm gonna just do it in one take, and I am going to maybe put the actual video to the side here while I watch it on my iPad, because I think this really needs to be discussed. So this is a reaction video to a particular post, and I had some time to think about it. I calmed down. This is actually going to be me trying to do this in the most calm manner, but I may get a little animated because it really did piss me off. So here we go. So before I start watching it, I wanted to say, I know, again, that it's really hard to be a content creator. It does not come easy to all of us. And there are some people who've been doing it for a while, some people who are well regarded in the hobby space for content. But this one really bothered me enough for me to try to make this type of video. And I think that I'm at the point where my YouTube is still small. This is not clickbait. This is really just me giving my thoughts. And I know I do silly, funny things on Instagram, but this is like me genuinely giving you my opinion about this particular thing. So this is about Jared Backer Blez, Jeju Blez, which I won't even get into right now, but I mean, Jeju it's like the Hawaii of Korea, and I feel like part of it is him making fun of it. I'm not gonna even touch that right now, but that's what I'll say. He made a post. I'll put it over here. I'll put it over here, and it's called Backer's Thoughts on the Paul Skeens debut patch. So I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna pause it at times to kind of interject my thoughts, and if you believe, if you believe what he's saying and you take it for face value, and if you want to engage in some healthy dialogue in the comment section below, please go ahead. I really want to figure this out, and this is me processing it, okay? So here we go.
In the back room, very private. And I need to get something off my chest. As a collector for 30 years, and as a business that sells more sports cards in the world to the end consumer, like Blez, I'm a little disappointed in the negativity that the hobby has given to Fanatics about the Paul Skeens debut.
Okay, so I'm a little disappointed at the hobby. That is so disrespectful. It's like, in a way, you're like trying to say that you're being judgmental, you're criticizing, you're being like, oh, I'm a father figure, oh, I'm disappointed in you, little Timmy. Like, I don't think that someone should be saying, I'm disappointed in you. And also disappointed in the hobby. The hobby is not a person. It's so many, people, so many viewpoints, so many angles. And so I didn't really like that right off the bat. It's very kind of like looking down upon someone from a high perch, saying, I'm disappointed in you. Okay, so let's continue.
In the back room, very private.
Oh, it restarts, so that's not good.
I'm here to say the following, that if I'm the father of an 11-year-old kid in LA that pulled arguably one of the greatest cards in the history of sports cards, my son would damn well be anonymous. Okay? The world needs to understand something.
To say that if I was the father of a child, again, this is like saying if I won $1 million, if I did this, if I did that. This person does not know what it is like to be a parent of a child. He is a son of parents. And again, I have no disrespect at all to the Blesnick family as a whole. But this right here, to be like, if I was this, then I would do that. Great. Like, it's a conditional statement. It doesn't matter if you're not an actual parent, what you would think you would do. That is like trying to, I won't even use an analogy. That I had an issue with as well. Okay, here we go.
Fanatics came in and purchased Topps. Okay? Pre-Fanatics era, they didn't have anything called the debut patch. The debut patch is the greatest invention in the history of sports cards.
That's an opinion. The greatest invention in the history of sports cards. I mean, I feel like refractors. I feel like, I love die cuts, but, whatever you think is the greatest invention, that's his opinion. He's entitled to his opinion. I disagree with it, but, let's continue, and I'm glad I figured out a way to pause the video without it going to the beginning, but let's keep going.
3 years ago, Topps Chrome Update was a complete loser. And then they decided to put one of the greatest inventions in the history of the industry into it. And now it's the #1, not only baseball card, but the debut patch is the #1 modern day sports card you can own forever of that player. The marketing that Fanatics has done in the last 3 years is more marketing than we've seen in this industry in the last 100.
Sure. That's
okay.
So what?
The amount of good that Fanatics has done to improve the hobby, to make products better, it's very simple. I am sick and tired of the negativity. If my son pulls that Polskeen's card, no one's ever going to know about it. Why? Because I want to care about the safety of my kid pulling a 7-figure card. Okay? You have to understand something. People complain, it's a redemption and it takes
Topps
time.
said they were going to get rid of redemption.
Okay?
By the
When
way.
you pull a card that big and it's a redemption, Topps is going to make right on it instantly. You will get that card right away. Okay? It got graded by the #1 graded card company in the world in PSA. It got a 10. Okay? It's very simple. Everything here adds up.
That's, I think, where I really lost my shit, okay? Everything here adds up. When someone tells you everything here adds up, run away from them as far as you can. And no, just because someone says everything here adds up does not mean everything here adds up. There's so many questions that come into it. I'll share with you. I've made some funny, I thought they were funny, skits about this whole thing. Like, do I think that an 11-year-old pulled the actual, redemption? Again, it wasn't the debut patch card itself, but the redemption. I'm gonna probably believe it. Even though I made jokes about it, I think that it did happen. Do I think all the other steps after that were maybe like on the up and up? I do not. And I can make another video or I can talk about that later. But this, when someone tells you it's very simple, everything here adds up, run away.
Okay? But if you want to believe it doesn't, then you're not believing reality. Fanatics has come in and done so much good for this hobby. And it makes me sick to see all this negativity on Fanatics creating the greatest modern day baseball card.
It's not even
they created something for the collector. And here we are being negative about it. It makes me sick. And as the face of this entire industry,
are you kidding me? Like, I know he's like a big breaker and all that. There is no way that this person, actually, let me ask you, see, this is me getting animated. I said I was going to calm down, so I'll try to calm down. This individual is saying that he is the face of the industry. Please comment below and tell me and let me know if you believe that to be true. Is this person, Jared, Jeju, Backer, Blez, is he the face of the hobby, of the sports card industry? I'm inclined to say no. I'm inclined to say no one is the face. We are all the faces of the hobby. The hobby is bigger than one person or multiple people. It is not a cabal of just, these hobby elites in their ivory towers. It's all of us. We are the hobby, the collective, all of us. So I found that so offensive. He's telling us that we're not in reality for believing that this is not a true story, but in his reality, he is the face of the sports card industry.
Please, okay, please grow up and appreciate every day that we get to enjoy this hobby that we love instead of bashing people.
I would like to know who's being bashed here, like bashing people. Like, I understand if he's trying to protect Fanatics or Topps. They're not people, they're companies, okay? There are people who work in those companies, but I don't know of any bashing going on. There might be some heat going towards this family, again, if you believe that it is an actual kid and a family, but I do not believe that there's a lot of hatred towards this kid and like jealousy and animosity. I think a lot of the heat is going towards the Topps and Fanatics for putting out this supposed journal entry that was organic or whatever it is. Like, I don't think people are not bashing this family as far as I know. I think that people are bashing the conglomerate, the corporation, the machine, the marketing arm of Topps under as underneath Fanatics. And so we're gonna keep going. We're almost done with this absolutely abysmal video.
Let this 11-year-old from LA enjoy one of the greatest experiences that he will ever have his entire life. It is a moment that he will never leave with him the rest of his life.
I love the hobby. And again, I don't know how old this guy is. I hope that this 11-year-old kid has so many great experiences in life that this pulling this card does not even make the top 10, okay? I love the hobby, and I've had some great moments in the hobby. When you go through life and you have many great life moments, whether it is getting your first job, graduating, getting married, having kids, your first car, your first kiss, your first love, your first crush, your first anything, all of that stuff. Pulling a card, no matter how expensive it is, again, you may disagree. In the comment section, you may tell me you pulled a card and that one card is a top whatever, top 10, top 5, top 1 moment in your entire life. Okay, maybe.
He pulled a 7-figure card in a hobby box of Topps Chrome Update. It's an incredible story, and let that 11-year-old enjoy it, and let's stop being negative, because quite frankly, I've had enough. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. You're not welcome. I'm sick and tired, actually. I am too. I'm actually sick and tired. What I'm sick and tired of are these people who, and he's like, oh, I'm not an industry plan, I'm not doing this, and Topps told me not to make this. People like this make videos like this because they do want to be in the good graces of these companies, and they do want more allocation, more sweetheart deals, more partnerships, more collaborations. As someone who does try to play nice with companies, I know that there's an important way to build bridges, but to try to protect this conglomerate, and to just try to be like, oh, nothing's wrong here, everything adds up. Don't, this is like the Wizard of Oz saying, don't look behind the curtain. Don't worry, everything's up on the up and up. Everything's totally fine. Don't believe any suspicions that you may have. I am sick and tired of that. I am sick and tired of, like, I hate this whole concept of hobby positivity versus hobby negativity. I truly believe that you are able to be you can look at things with a critical eye. A lot of you have very good judgment, some of you don't, but a lot of you have a good judgment as to what's real, what's not. There's so much fake, there's so much AI, there's so many fake things out in the internet. We've all been kind of like hoodwinked, or we have all been collectively, the rug has been pulled over our eyes. It's good to be skeptical sometimes, especially when you don't have video or photo evidence. We live in a world where, things like that are important, unfortunately, for good or bad. That is just the world we live in. And I think society, Western society, American society, we are so skeptical because of like things like deep fakes and AI. And I truly believe that when it comes down to the consumer, it is so important to be an intelligent consumer, be an informed consumer, a consumer that does research, who actually knows their stuff. And maybe you don't know, maybe you don't have time, right? You just want to buy stuff. But for potentially a company to have withheld this information that it had been pulled to release at the right time, and have all these people buying these boxes up, believing that they could still pull this one particular card without actually having had that chance because it was already pulled, that's what I have an issue with. And this is not a slam piece on Topps and Fanatics. There are some people that I really regard highly, but this is the marketing machine. This is this is a person who is so delusional in their mind that they are the face of sports card industry. Like, that is absolutely insane. And I should try to tone it down because I am getting more animated. But I am telling you right now, this is like the worst, the absolute worst Instagram post I have seen, because there were so many things that were wrong about this particular video. And so I don't know, this person may block me. First of all, take Jeju out of your freaking name. Like, don't be like making fun of, like, that you won a tournament in Korea and that you wear the silly hat. My grandma, my mom, they own those hats, okay? Like, for you to parade it around like you are joking around, like, you're not respecting Korea. That's the other problem I guess I have with this dude. I've DM'd with Chad before. I don't know the third brother that much, Scott or Sam, but I have no disrespect towards the Blessing family. But if you're gonna make videos like this, thinking you're the face of the industry, you're gonna put Jeju Blez in your name and, like, make jokes about that. Like, I don't take too kindly with things like that. I really don't. And I want you, as the person who's viewing this, to really think about your purchasing, spending habits. Like, I want everyone, as many people as possible in the hobby, to be well informed, well educated, and you should be skeptical. You should absolutely, being like someone who is skeptical, being someone who is skeptical of this whole situation with the Paul Skeens MLB debut patch does not make you a negative person. I want to say that again because it's so important. I probably should have started with that in the beginning of this video. But being skeptical, oh my God, I did it again. Being skeptical of this entire situation with the Paul Skeens MLB debut card does not make you a negative person. And conversely, believing the whole story does not make you a positive person. It might make you maybe more gullible, and that could, again, people could take offense to that. People can take offense over anything. Let's be real, in social media. People will be offended over this video, but I'm sure you'll watch it until the end, because this is me being real. No one take, no edits, no cuts. I'll put a little side video here so you can see the video, but go check it out on Instagram. I don't know if it's going to get deleted, but honestly, when I saw this video, I just knew that I had to talk about it, because it bothers me that someone could think that they're the face of the industry when it's this hobby does not belong to one person or to a group of people. It belongs to all of us. Someone who says everything adds up, like, trust me or believe me, run away from those people as fast as you can. I have a problem with the silly hats in the name, absolutely, for sure. That's the Korean in me, and this is me talking to, this is my content, it's my channel. But the third thing is, I just feel that this whole you know, East Coast, West Coast rap battle, hobby negativity, hobby positivity. It's ridiculous. It really is. You are allowed to be skeptical and still be a positive or not negative person. So I wanted to say that. I wanted to talk about that with this video. It's my first time doing this type of content. I know people are gonna try to defend him, and that's fine. Do it in the comments. We can talk, but please think, like, just really, like, you have good judgment. If something walks like a duck, talks like a duck, and acts like a duck, it's probably a duck. That's all I got. Thank you, guys.